Have you ever considered that just one small action before bed, something you've been doing every night for years, could be the very reason you never wake up the next morning? It may sound hard to believe, but it's true. According to data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention (CDC), over 7,000 seniors pass away in their sleep every year, right in their own homes, in their familiar beds. And what's even more alarming is that many of these deaths could have been prevented if only those individuals had known to avoid some extremely common mistakes that most older adults still make every single night. After the age of 60, your body doesn't respond the same way it used to. Your heart is weaker, breathing slows, the brain becomes more sensitive to disruptions, whether it's noise, light, or simply a lack of oxygen in the room. A pillow that's the wrong height, an improper sleeping position, or even a glass of water before bed can silently become a silent killer without you even realizing it. So, what exactly are these deadly sleep mistakes? And what should you start changing tonight to make sleep safer and healthier for yourself or an aging loved one? Let's explore each mistake and how to avoid it right now. If you're new to this channel, welcome to our community, a place where we share easy-to-understand, science-based, and practical information to help those over 60 live healthier, safer, and more empowered lives every day. Here, we don't just talk about disease, we talk about how to prevent it early, starting with the very habits you practice every night before sleep. If you believe today's topic is important and should be shared more widely, don't hesitate to click like, subscribe to the channel, and comment with the name of your country or state. We're thrilled to see this senior community growing all across America and to know that you're with us on this journey toward healthier living each day. Habit 7. Placing the bed in the wrong position. Now, let's begin with the first mistake, and one of the easiest ones to overlook. Placing your bed in the wrong position. It might sound simple, but where you place your bed can seriously affect your sleep quality and overall health, especially once you're over 60. A lot of people like putting their bed right next to a window, so they can enjoy the morning sunlight or feel a cool breeze at night. But what many don't realize is that this can expose your body to cold drafts all night long, and that's definitely not ideal as we age. Walls near windows tend to carry moisture, fluctuate in temperature, and often create air drafts that can silently strain your lungs, sinuses, and respiratory system while you sleep. For older adults like us, even a gentle breeze hitting your neck or shoulders can lead to aches, stiffness, or even chronic sinus issues. If your bed is right up against a window without heavy curtains or proper insulation, your chances of catching a chill during the night go up significantly. And for those of us with underlying heart, lung, or immune conditions, a simple cold isn't so simple it can quickly turn into pneumonia, nighttime shortness of breath, or irregular heartbeat episodes. But that's not all. Placing your bed in the wrong spot can also reduce airflow in the room. If you often wake up in the middle of the night feeling stuffy or groggy, or if you start your mornings with a dull headache, your bed placement might be to blame. Poor air circulation affects deep sleep, and for people over 60, fragmented sleep also interferes with your brain's ability to repair itself, something that becomes increasingly important as we age. The good news: you don't need to remodel your bedroom to fix this. Just a few small adjustments can make a big difference. I suggest moving your bed at least an arm's length away from the window. If that's not possible, make sure you have thick curtains or some form of insulation to block the draft. And also, try to avoid placing the head of your bed against cold walls, especially exterior ones that easily absorb temperature from outside. Another helpful tip is to place your bed where there's gentle air circulation in the room, not too strong, but enough to keep the air fresh throughout the night. If your bed faces east and catches soft morning light, that's great. It can help your body ease into the day. But if the light is too harsh or comes in too early, you can soften it with light-colored curtains. Something as small as where your bed is positioned, if not done right, can silently cause a range of issues: poor sleep, frequent colds, and even heart complications while you sleep. The best part is, you can fix this tonight. Just take a moment to look at where your bed is now. Is it too close to the window? pressed against a cold wall, or in a spot with poor airflow? If so, it might be time to move it even just a few steps. Not for convenience, but for your long-term well-being. A peaceful sleep every night lays the foundation for clearer mornings, more energy, and better health. And all of that begins with small, meaningful changes like this one. Now that you've created a safer, more comfortable spot for sleep, you might think you're all set for a restful night. But there's still another hidden culprit that could be silently ruining your sleep. And chances are, it's sitting right there in your hands. Let's move on to the next dangerous habit. Habit 6. Using electronic devices right before bed. Even after you've optimized your bed's position, there's still a silent threat that can ruin your sleep, and it comes from the glowing screens of your phone, tablet, or television. Blue light, the strong light emitted by LED screens, directly interferes with the production of melatonin in your body. Melatonin is the natural hormone that signals to your brain that it's time to rest, making you feel sleepy and allowing your body to enter deep, restorative sleep. But when your eyes are exposed to blue light just before bedtime, melatonin production is delayed or even halted. The result, you don't feel sleepy naturally. You toss and turn longer before falling asleep, and the sleep you do get is shallow and easily disrupted. For seniors, this becomes especially problematic. After the age of 60, the brain naturally produces less melatonin than in youth, so any further suppression can make sleep issues significantly worse. What's more, you may not realize that reading stressful news, replying to messages, or even playing a casual game before bed can increase your heart rate, speed up your breathing, and raise your blood pressure, all of which put your body into a state of alertness rather than relaxation. This robs your nervous and immune systems of the recovery they need during sleep. Several US-based studies have shown that people who use electronic devices within an hour of going to bed are twice as likely to experience sleep disorders, especially among those over 60. These individuals also report higher rates of anxiety, morning headaches, persistent fatigue, and early memory decline. Unfortunately, many seniors never connect these issues to their nighttime screen habits, assuming it's just a bit of harmless entertainment. So what's the solution? It's simple, but it takes intention. Turn off all screen-based devices at least 1 hour before bedtime. Instead of checking your phone or watching TV, try gentle activities like reading a paperback book, listening to calming music, journaling a few lines of gratitude, or simply sitting quietly and practicing deep breathing in a dimly lit room. If you truly must use a device in the evening, at the very least turn on night shift or warm light mode, or wear blue light blocking glasses, though ideally, these are not long-term solutions for older adults. Here's something fascinating. Once you stop using electronic screens before bed for just a few days, you'll likely find yourself falling asleep more easily, sleeping more deeply, and waking up more refreshed. That's a powerful reward for such a small change. And as your sleep improves, so does your memory, blood pressure, and heart health, all tightly connected to the quality of your nightly rest. We've now uncovered how artificial light can be a hidden sleep disruptor. But next, we'll look at another seemingly healthy habit that many people unknowingly continue every night: drinking lots of water before bed in the name of detoxing. And that, too, might be a serious mistake. Habit 5. Drinking too much water before bed. From screen exposure to overstimulated nerves before bed, we've seen how seemingly small things can have a big impact. But there's another habit, often done with good intentions, that silently puts thousands of seniors at risk every night: drinking too much water right before going to bed. You've probably heard advice like, stay hydrated to detox your body, prevent constipation, improve your skin, and boost circulation. And that's absolutely true during the day. But if you consume the bulk of your water intake in the evening, especially within 1 to 2 hours before lying down, you might unknowingly trigger a cascade of unwanted consequences, both physically and neurologically. When you drink large amounts of water at night, your excretory system, especially your kidneys and bladder, has to keep working while the rest of your body is trying to rest. This leads to more frequent nighttime urination, a common issue that becomes worse with age. And waking up to use the bathroom at night introduces a much greater risk. Files. Imagine waking up groggy, stumbling out of bed in the dark, trying to find your way to the bathroom. One wrong step, a slippery floor, or a misplaced chair is all it takes to cause a fall, and the consequences, especially for older adults, can be devastating. Data from the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention (CDC) shows that falls are the leading cause of injury-related hospitalizations and deaths among seniors. Many of these incidents occur at night between the bed and the bathroom, and disturbingly, a large number of them begin with a late-night glass of water. It doesn't stop there. Drinking too much water in the evening can also place added strain on the heart, especially for individuals with a history of heart failure or arrhythmias, when the body suddenly has to process more fluid. Right as the heart prepares for its nightly rest cycle, circulatory pressure can increase. Some studies show that this shift in fluid volume at night may trigger irregular heartbeats or worsen swelling in the legs and abdomen. So what's the safer solution? First, pace your hydration throughout the day, starting in the morning and tapering off after around 5-6 p.m. Instead of gulping down large amounts of water at once, sip small amounts gradually. In the evening, if you feel thirsty, take just a few sips, enough to soothe your throat, but not so much that your bladder gets activated. Avoid diuretic beverages like coffee, black tea, citrus juices, or carbonated drinks in the late afternoon or evening. These not only increase urination, but can disrupt your electrolyte balance, particularly potassium and sodium, which are critical for stable heart rhythms. If you still find yourself waking up frequently to urinate at night, even after cutting back on fluids, it may be time to talk to a doctor. Issues like overactive bladder, enlarged prostate, or hormonal imbalances could be contributing. You may need to adjust the timing of diuretic medications or explore other solutions tailored to your health. Nighttime is when your body heals and restores itself, but that process can only happen if you allow it to be uninterrupted. A seemingly harmless glass of water could be the thing that wakes you up, gets you out of bed, and puts you in harm's way. The good news is, this is fully within your control. Starting tonight, you can make small changes to your hydration schedule that better align with your body's natural rhythms. And now that you know, when you drink water is just as important as how much. Let's take a look at another seemingly minor factor that has just as much impact on your sleep quality: the pillow you lay your head on each night. Habit 4. Using a pillow that's too high or too low. Once you've adjusted your water intake, it's time to take a closer look at something you may not have thought twice about: your pillow. Many seniors use high pillows, thinking it helps them breathe easier, prevents acid reflux, or simply feels more comfortable. On the other hand, some opt for very low pillows, or even go without one altogether, hoping to avoid neck pain. But what most people don't realize is that both extremes can quietly lead to serious health issues. If your pillow is too high, your neck bends forward toward your chest for hours, compressing your airway. While this may only cause minor discomfort for younger individuals, in older adults, especially those with respiratory issues, cardiovascular conditions, or excess weight, this posture can restrict airflow, increase the risk of undetected sleep apnea, and lead to decreased oxygen levels during the night. Even mild but prolonged oxygen deprivation can strain the heart, raise nighttime blood pressure, and impair brain function over time. On the flip side, if your pillow is too low or absent, your head may tilt backward, placing strain on the neck and upper spine muscles. This often results in waking up with stiff necks, shoulder pain, or tension headaches. It also increases the risk of acid reflux, particularly for back sleepers or those who eat late dinners. Incorrect neck posture during sleep also affects spinal alignment. If the cervical spine isn't properly supported, nerves in the neck region can become mildly compressed over time, leading to numbness in the hands, radiating shoulder pain, or general discomfort that disrupts your sleep. This is especially common in seniors with cervical degeneration or mild spinal stenosis conditions that often go unnoticed until sleep becomes problematic. Experts recommend that the ideal pillow for older adults should have a medium height, around 4 to 5 inches, 10-12 centimeters, and offer moderate firmness. The goal is to keep your head, neck, and spine aligned in a straight line when sleeping on your side. You can also use small supporting pillows behind your back or between your knees if you're a side sleeper, to reduce pressure on the spine. If you often experience shoulder discomfort or toss and turn at night, consider using a contoured or ergonomic pillow designed to cradle the neck and maintain proper alignment. Take a moment to examine your current pillow. Is it too soft? Letting your head sink too low? Too high? Forcing your neck into an unnatural angle? Do you often wake up with stiffness or a dull headache? If so, your pillow might be silently undermining your sleep quality and overall recovery. The right pillow doesn't just help you sleep better. It opens up your airways, supports your spine, and prevents long-term strain. And when your neck is properly supported, you'll notice the difference almost immediately. Easier sleep onset, fewer nighttime awakenings, and more energy in the morning. Better sleep doesn't always come from fancy gadgets or medications sometimes. It starts with how you lay your head each night. And now that your neck is aligned properly, it's time to look at something even bigger, your overall sleeping position, a crucial factor that too many seniors still overlook. Habit 3. Sleeping on your back. Sleeping. Your sleeping position specifically, the habit of sleeping on your back may be one of the most dangerous factors for older adults, and yet it's often overlooked. Many people believe that sleeping on your back is the most natural and supportive position for the spine. But after the age of 60, that's no longer entirely true. When you lie on your back, the weight of your tongue and soft tissues in the throat tend to fall backward, partially blocking the airway. This not only causes loud snoring, but can also narrow or temporarily obstruct airflow, especially in those with short necks, excess weight, or a history of sleep apnea. Even if you don't notice it immediately, these brief oxygen interruptions can cause heart rate fluctuations, blood pressure spikes, and a drop in blood oxygen saturation, all particularly dangerous for anyone with cardiovascular issues. Studies in the U.S. show that older adults who sleep on their backs have a nearly 40% higher risk of sleep apnea compared to those who sleep on their side. This condition is also linked to faster cognitive decline with aging. Prolonged oxygen deprivation during sleep, if left unaddressed, can accelerate neurological disorders such as memory loss, Alzheimer's, and reduce the body's ability to recover overnight. Beyond respiratory and brain concerns, back sleeping also increases the risk of acid reflux, a very common issue among older adults. When you lie flat on your back, especially after a late or fatty dinner, the lower esophageal sphincter can loosen, allowing stomach acid to rise into the esophagus, all while you're unaware in deep sleep. So what is the safest, most supportive sleep position for seniors? The answer is sleeping on your left side. This position enhances circulation, reduces strain on the heart, supports digestion, minimizes acid reflux, and helps keep your airways open. It also promotes better brain detoxification during sleep, helping you wake up more refreshed and mentally clear. However, if you've been a lifelong back sleeper, switching positions won't be easy overnight. One helpful tip is to place a small pillow behind your back to prevent rolling onto your back while you sleep. Also, putting a thin pillow between your knees when lying on your side helps keep your hips and spine aligned, reducing morning back pain or leg numbness. Pay attention to how you feel each morning. Do you wake up tired, dizzy, with a dry mouth or sore throat? These could be signs that your sleep position isn't supporting your health. You don't need to change everything in one night, but gradually increasing the time you spend sleeping on your left side, even 15 minutes more each night, will build a new and safer habit. A proper sleeping position doesn't just improve sleep quality, it protects your heart, brain, digestion, and long-term health. And now that your sleep posture is aligned, don't overlook one last small detail: the thing you wear on your feet at night. It may keep you warm, but if chosen poorly, it can silently harm your circulation. Let's move on to the next mistake. Habit 2. Wearing tight or non-breathable socks. Once you've adjusted your sleeping position, you might think your body is fully set for a peaceful night's rest. But there's one small detail many overlook: the socks you wear to bed. Many people over 60 experience cold feet at night, a normal result of declining circulation with age. To stay warm, they wear socks to bed, which in itself isn't wrong, but the type of socks you choose matters. If your socks are too tight, especially around the ankle, they can restrict blood flow back to the heart, leading to swelling, numbness, or a heavy feeling in the feet upon waking. For those with peripheral artery disease, diabetes, or venous insufficiency, tight socks can increase the risk of foot ulcers, vein inflammation, and nerve damage, which may go unnoticed until the damage becomes serious. Many elderly patients end up with long treatment plans, all due to a small sore caused by mildly compressive socks worn all night. On the other hand, not wearing socks on a cold night or in a drafty room isn't ideal either. During sleep, your body naturally lowers its temperature to enter deep sleep. But if your feet become too cold, your brain sends signals to stay alert, raising your heart rate slightly and keeping your muscles from fully relaxing. The result: light, fragmented sleep, frequent nighttime awakenings, and a higher chance of leg cramps, especially in the calves. Nocturnal leg cramps, a common problem in older adults, often stem from poor circulation, electrolyte imbalances, or simply cold feet. The sudden pain can jolt you awake and leave lingering soreness into the morning. And if you're on diuretics or have a low potassium diet, the risk becomes even greater if your feet aren't kept warm properly. So what's the solution? It's simple. Choose lightweight, breathable, stretchy socks with no tight elastic around the ankle. Soft cotton or thin wool socks that don't cause irritation are ideal. Avoid thick, compression-style athletic socks. They're great for daytime activity, but not meant for overnight wear. If your feet tend to get cold despite wearing socks, consider placing a small extra blanket just over your feet instead of relying solely on socks. Each morning, check for sock marks around your ankles. These indentations are a sign your socks may be too tight. And don't forget to regularly inspect your soles and toes, especially if you have circulation or nerve issues. These small check-ins can help detect early signs of serious problems. Keeping your feet comfortably warm and well ventilated not only improves sleep, but also helps prevent cramps, supports circulation, and enhances your overall sleep quality. The right pair of socks can mean the difference between a restful night and a restless one. And once your feet are light, warm, and relaxed, it's time to consider the final factor. The very thing meant to keep you warm, but maybe silently overloading your heart and lungs every night: your blanket. Habit 1. Using a blanket that's too heavy or too thick. Now that your feet are gently and properly warmed, you might think your sleep is fully protected, but there's still one more factor that can strongly affect your sleep quality and even your heart and lung health, and that is the blanket you use every night. Many older adults, especially those who often feel cold, develop the habit of using several layers of blankets or opting for thick, heavy comforters to feel warm and cozy quickly. But what they may not realize is that a blanket that's too heavy or lacks breathability can place constant pressure on the chest and abdomen, subtly restricting your breathing throughout the night. This becomes even more serious if you already have underlying heart, lung, or blood pressure conditions, where even minor respiratory resistance can lead to shortness of breath, irregular heartbeat, or spikes in nighttime blood pressure. Biologically, our bodies are programmed to lower their core temperature during sleep to enter deeper sleep phases. But when excess insulation traps too much heat, this natural process is disrupted, leading to sweating, restlessness, vivid dreams, and shallow sleep. Many people describe feeling hot inside or uncomfortable at night, without realizing that it's the heat buildup from their blanket that's to blame. For those with cardiovascular issues, excess nighttime body heat forces the heart to work harder to regulate temperature, increasing circulatory strain and triggering irregular heartbeats or mild chest discomfort. In more serious cases, this can even cause mild dehydration, low blood pressure, or worsen pulmonary conditions like COPD or asthma. So how can you stay warm without overburdening your body? The answer isn't in using one very thick blanket, but rather in using multiple light layers. This lets you adjust your temperature throughout the night, adding or removing layers based on how you feel. Ideal blanket materials include cotton, bamboo, or linen, all breathable fabrics that provide moderate warmth without trapping excess heat. Also, check whether your blanket presses down on your chest or abdomen. If you wake up with mild chest tightness, shortness of breath, or a feeling of pressure in your upper belly, it may be time to change your bedding. Some people might consider using a lightweight weighted blanket, but it's crucial to consult a doctor first, especially if you have heart or lung conditions. Your blanket isn't just a tool to keep warm. It impacts your breathing, body temperature, sleep depth, and the entire overnight healing process. Choosing the right blanket could mean the difference between a restless night and a deeply restorative one, between waking up tired and waking up recharged. Now, with all these small adjustments from bed position, lighting, hydration, some pillow, posture, socks, to your blanket, you're not just creating a more comfortable sleep space, but a biologically safer environment for long-term health. And now, it's time to reflect on this journey and uncover the most important truth of all. Small nighttime changes can save your life every morning. Dear friend, just a few small changes at night, like moving your bed away from the window, turning off electronics earlier, drinking less water before bed, choosing the right pillow height, adjusting your sleeping posture, wearing breathable socks, and switching to a lighter blanket can make a surprisingly big difference. This isn't just about comfort. It's how you protect your heart, brain, lungs, and alertness for the day ahead. So pause for a moment and ask yourself, among these 7 deadly mistakes, which ones have you been unknowingly making? And more importantly, which one will you change tonight? If you found this video helpful, please share it so your loved ones and friends, especially those in vulnerable age groups, have the chance to protect themselves from these silent threats. Hit the subscribe button so you don't miss out on future health tips, all designed to be science-backed, easy to understand, and tailored for older adults. Thank you for being with us, and we wish you a peaceful, safe, and truly restorative night's sleep.